Hi yoga teachers, this is a beginner's class. It is week 4 in a beginner's course, and for the first 3 weeks we have been building up basic level 1 poses, less out of flow. I mean, maybe a little bit like it, definitely inhale up, exhale down, and maybe threading 2 or 3 poses together from the center of the mat wide, but not doing a full flow class. And this is the first full flow class, putting it all together but still keeping it slow enough and accessible. My age group is somewhere between 25 and 65 because I haven't specified on the poster. And let's just say that there's someone in here who's in between 25 and 30 and someone who's over 55. Yeah. There's just general injuries and nothing too serious, and they're able to move. Yeah, so they have the basic alignment from the first 3 classes, and this class is about bringing it into a flow. Okay, so from this point on, I'm going to become the teacher, step out of trainer into teacher mode. Okay, so come into a seat on your mat, and everybody has their 2 bricks, which is great. You won't be needing any other props for this class, so you can put those aside for now. And sitting with cross legs, if that's comfortable for you. So if you find that you're rounding back, you can just sit back to the wall just to help get the lift through your spine. And you could at this point also take your bricks under your knees if there's any pain in your knee or your inner thighs from crossing your leg, or if there's any knee issues. I know there's 1 or 2 in the room here with a couple of knee issues. You can just straighten out that knee, or to be honest, take any modification you want here, as long as you have a feeling of your spine being centered, your shoulders over your hips, and drawing the head back over the tailbone so the spine can be long. So if it's comfortable for you, you can close your eyes and draw your attention down into your body. If you prefer to keep your eyes open, just lower your gaze onto the mat in front. And starting your practice today, as we do, with noticing how you're feeling in your body. Noticing parts of your body that feel relaxed, and notice parts of your body that feel tense. All the time welcoming your experience, not trying to feel anything you're not right now. And then start to become aware of the flow of your breathing and how your breath wants to move through your body today. Allowing your next exhale, lengthen fully, following that exhale to the end so that you can drop deeper into your body. Next inhale, moving through lower, middle, or upper breathing space, wherever your breath is moving, keeping it nice and slow. And maybe just allowing a little pause at the bottom of your exhale for the next 3 breaths. Pausing for anywhere between 2 and 5 seconds before your next inhale. And this just helps you restart your autopilot. It's a great little hack for tuning the nervous system out of stress or fight or flight, so your mind can sink deeper into your body. And now we've done a little bit of Ujjayi breath before, or ocean breath, so we'll continue with that. So on the bottom of your next exhale, lift your pelvic floor muscles up, draw your lower belly back towards the spine, maybe even also up if that's available. And keeping your core engaged, for your next inhale. And just notice how your breath rises up, ribs expand front, back and sides. And taking a half sound with me, opening the mouth as you exhale. Inhale again, keeping the core engaged. And this time out with the mouth closed. Inhaling the ha sound through the throat, keeping the core engaged. As you inhale, ribs expand, widen up. And then exhale, control the flow of the breath out as you control the movements of your ribs in and down. Inhaling once again. And exhaling. Keeping the rhythm of the breath. Inhale. Finding the breath through the back of the throat, creating the oceanic sound. And exhale. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhale. And exhale. Great. Okay, so just a little reminder throughout the class, we are trying to maintain our Ujjayi breath with our core as much as possible in the practice, but it can take a while to build that up for the whole 75 minutes, yeah? So if you're finding your breath is straining, please just return to normal breathing through the nose, just regular nostril breathing. And, you know, like, yeah, but definitely keeping the mouth closed. And then when you remember, when you catch yourself, you know, losing the core, losing the Ujjayi, if you can, if you're not feeling strained, just to come back into finding that rhythm of the breath again. Okay, fab. So keeping the Ujjayi breath, hands to knees, inhale, extend the spine, lift the chest, shoulder blades down the back. Exhale, curling back. Inhale, extend, lift. Exhale, curl. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, both arms floating up. Exhale, left hand behind your bum, right hand to your left knee, palm facing out. Find your sit bones root down. Inhale, the spine tall. Exhale, twist out over the left hip. Peel the left shoulder open, left collarbone broad. As you squeeze the back body from the waist up, helping to release tension. Last breath, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, unwind your twist. Both arms reach high. Exhale, right hand circles behind, left hand to right knee, left palm facing out. Root into the sit bones. Inhale, the spine tall, maintaining your core. Exhale, twist out over your right hip now. Keeping your spine extended with the base of your front ribs pulling in. Twisting out over the right hip, opening out the right collarbone and shoulder. Only taking the head over the back shoulder if the neck allows. Last breath, inhale. And exhale. Slowly unwinding, both arms reach, inhaling. And exhale, slowly lower the hands down. Left hand wide of the left hip. Inhale, the spine tall. Reach the right arm over. Exhale, side bend. Breathe here. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, right hand wide. Side bending over the right hip. Try to keep your shoulders in line with your spine. And here there's a little bit of extension and rotation. So if you're rounding through the upper back and chest, see if you can just turn the heart skyward a little bit more. Last inhale. And exhale. Inhale, both arms reach. And exhale, slowly gliding the hands down. From here, making your way to a tabletop. So if you can, let's use the Sita Vinyasa that we've been doing. So pull your heels right into your groins and point your toes out to the long sides of the mat. Good. Hug the knees in and use your core a little bit. Roll. Now, if you know you've got knee or ankle issues, you may want to take that slower and not roll and just very slowly ease down. That's it, exactly. And then from here, make your way to a tabletop. Stack your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. Inhale to cow pose, arch your spine, chest forward, head lifts. Exhale, curl the tail, pin the navel back towards the spine, dome through the upper back and up the head. Inhale, arching the spine, starting from the pelvis and allowing that spine move up through as the head lifts. Exhale, curling in, pulling into the core, head drops last. Inhale, last inhale, extend. And then exhale, slowly curling in. Good. So let's take a downward dog. So inhale, just first the spine to center. And as before, walk your hands a hand's distance forward. Spread your fingers wide, middle finger facing forward. And make sure that you're just slightly gripping the fingertips, and this will help you strengthen the arms into the shoulders. Shift your hips forward, curl your toes under, and then lift your hips up and back for a downward dog. Good. So from here, you want to bring as much length into your dog as you can, bringing the hips all the way back, creating space between the vertebrae. Good. Now the heels do not have to be on the ground. In fact, if your heels are on the ground and you are rounding through the pelvis, just lift your heels up. It's more important in this pose to get your length, than activate the core or get the heels to the ground. Good, so slowly bring your shoulders forward, drop down into a long tabletop. So just tabletop with the hands a little bit forward. So we're going to drop to chaturanga, remembering as we did before, hugging the elbows narrow in as you lower your chest and belly at the same time. Lovely. Feet are hip width, sprinkle your hands forward or wide for cobra waves. Now before we go up, press down through the front of the ankles, down through the shins, quads active, tailbone long, navel pinned. And then inhale up to cobra, dropping the elbows down, dropping the shoulder blades down the back. Lovely, ladies. Exhale, slowly down. Inhale, good. And making sure that your hands, they're about 45 width, the angle 45 from the shoulder. And if there's pain, you could come more forward. Yeah, if there's pain in the lower back. Good, last inhale, lifting up, keeping the quads active, tail long, navel pinned. And then exhale, slowly down. Hands by the chest, inhale to a tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop, long tabletop, and then walk the knees forward. So we're in a regular tabletop now. And then from here, just lift your right leg up, make a few circles with your knee. And all the time exploring your circles in your pain-free range of movement. So just feeling the glutes activate, maybe the inner thighs release. Good. And then take the knee back down. Lifting the left leg up again, and then making your circles here. Good. Once again, moving in your pain-free range of movement. Good. So lengthening out your tabletop, take the hands a little forward. Inhale, shift the hips, grip the fingertips, curl your toes. Exhale, lift your hips up and back for a downward dog, creating lots of length through your spine. Excellent. Breathing here, finding your breath in the pose. If you can, maintain your Ujjayi breath and your connection with the core as you create more space between the vertebrae of the spine. Okay, let's come forward again to a long tabletop. Good, and dropping down again. So here, before we drop, pull into the core, the front core, and hugging the elbows narrow as you drop down. Good. Good. It takes a while to build up the bicep strength for that sometimes, but good practice that comes. So let's take baby cobra, hands up by the chest, and then inhale, peel the shoulders off the ground. Good. You can be as low or high as is comfortable, but you want to keep the elbows a bit bent and hugging into the midline, and that will help you open the collarbones and draw your shoulder blades together. Lovely. Last breath, inhale and exhale. Good. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. And curl your toes, shift forward, and exhale back to a downward dog. Good. Breathing here. Okay, so then from here, last one, drop into the knees, long tabletop again. Lower down, hugging your elbows in. Point the toes. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, long tabletop. Now again, walk your knees forward or your hands back so you get the regular tabletop step. Good, so from here, step your left leg back, reach your right leg forward for Superman. You can kick that left leg into the air, holding here, staying connected with the core. The heel kicks, very nice. Good. And then slowly right hand down and left knee down. Right leg steps back, straight, left arm forward. If you can, kick that right hip up into the air in line with the hip. Holding here, could go even a little bit higher, but you're trying to keep the knee straight. Good, couple more breaths. Slowly lower the left hand down and the right knee down. Good. Inhale to cow pose. And then exhale to cat. Inhale to neutral. Walk your hands a little bit forward, long tabletop. Shift forward, claw the ground, and take that downward dog. From here, walk forward to the front of your mat and take a hand. So walking your hands up to your shins if you wish. If you can reach the ground, great. If you want to bend the knees, that's absolutely okay. So finding the triangle in your feet, as we've been working with, big toe mound, little toe mound, center heel. And as you even out the footprint, you'll notice that different muscles activate through the legs, helping your leg bones connect with the pelvis and the spine in a functional way, and making sure that any stretch you're getting is a good stretch, in all the right places. So from here, take your hands to your waist and inhale, come up to standing. Okay, great. So what we're going to be doing now is today, we're going to work with some of the, like the warrior two, side angle, and triangle pose. You might remember those, but we were putting them in a little flow last week. So we're going to do a new flow this week, and then we're going to put the two together, yeah? So before we do, because I know it's hard when you're there, if you know, as I've been saying for the last 3 weeks, if your feet are wrong, your legs, pelvis, and spine are wrong. Yeah. So as I've been saying, that if we, if we get those right, then everything is going to stack. So before we go in to the standing section, I just want to go over the feet position, just to remind you, because I know, sure you're not going around midweek thinking of the various feet positions. You're only the beginners, so it's easy to forget. Okay, so let's start off with feet square. So great. So yeah, I know some people want to stand like this, so it's toes and heels out. So the outer edges of your feet line up with the outer edges of your mat, and that could be the short end or the long end, depending where we're standing. And this will create the upper thighs will roll in. Yeah, so when the heels come out, the upper thighs roll in, and that kind of releases the grip through the glutes. But it'll, it's good for certain movements because we'll get more length through the lower spine, etc. Yeah, so that's one of our feet positions. So from here, let's take the feet perpendicular and parallel. So we'll do right leg. My right leg is here, and the heel alignment. Yeah. So it's the first thing, but this is perpendicular or parallel. So the back foot is the outer edge of the back foot is straight. You're all getting it. Yeah. Inner line of the front foot is straight. But you might want to take in. Remember, when we do this position, we face the long side of the mat. Yeah, the open hip poses. But we don't want the knee to drop in when the inner thighs are tight. So with this one, you can take the toes in just a little. Yeah, not too much. Just like 20 degrees or something like that. And then we'll be working towards the long end. And then back foot diagonal. So again, you can do this with me. Heels in line and square the hips now to the front of the mat. Yeah. And this is great. Yeah. Yeah, I know it's hard for some people to get this square, and you can always bring the left foot out to the left or the right foot to the right, just to bring the feet wider apart, and that can help square the hips. But you want to have a sense of getting your pubis, navel, and breastbone all in the same line. And you can think of your toes pointing up to the top corner of the mat on the diagonal, and the heel to the opposite. And this is always allowing you to square the hips forward. Okay, great. So let's start and enjoy our flow. So standing at the top of your mat, and you can take your bricks. Okay, and standing in between your bricks. And you can, yourself, if your hamstrings are tight, you can put the bricks up on the higher setting. I'm going to just work on the middle setting today, but it's up to you. And you can always change them in the flow. So, with me, inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, slowly fold forward and take your hands to your bricks. So here, keep the knees straight if you can. And then if that's hard, just come up to the highest setting. Yeah? So inhale, half bend, look up. Exhale, step the back foot back to a pyramid. So this is where the back foot goes into the diagonal. Good. And the heel is down. And when you look at your feet, your heels are in line. Excellent. Inhale, half bend, looking up. Exhale, bow down. So breathing here, keeping the weight on the triangle of the feet. So often in this pose, the weight sinks onto the front heel. So you're trying to keep it forward on the front toes, to keep the muscle energy through your legs, connecting up into the core. Good. Inhale, half bend again. And now from here, kick your back heel in the air, bend your front knee and step back a little bit more to a low lunge. So you can look at your right thigh and you want to have it parallel with the ground. Again, feel free to come up on the higher brick if you wish. Good. So from here, inhale, reach the right arm up, low lunge twist, and exhale, slowly circle it down. Inhale, right arm reaches, exhale, circle it down. Good, you want to keep that right hip drawing back here. Inhale, right arm reaches, Exhale, circle it down. Good. So from here, we're going to make our way to leaning crescent. So if you can float up, or if you need to, place your hands onto your knee and leaning forward. Inhale here, maybe reach the arms if that's available. And then exhale, slowly gliding back. Now on the next inhale, the back knee might bend as you come up to your crescent. Good, stacking shoulders over the hips. Exhale to cactus. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lean forward. Inhale, back to high lunge. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lean it forward. Good. Place the hands on the bricks. And then step your left foot forward. Inhale, half bend. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, half bend. Bend the left knee. And step your right leg back to a diagonal and the shorter stance, pyramid. Because you want to get that back heel down. Good. So from here, find the triangle of the feet, root down. Especially the front of the front foot, if you're locking out the knee. And then pressing firmly into the feet. As you press your weight into the earth through the feet, you'll feel the muscle rebound up through the legs, into the core. Exhale, bow down. Couple more breaths here. Keeping the strength through the legs and allowing the spine to dangle down. Good. Inhale, half bend, lengthen. Bend the front knee, back heel kicks in the air, and just step back into a low lunge. Again, as before, ideally the left thigh is parallel with the ground. Good. So to keep the outer left hip drawing back, and then inhale, circle the left arm up to a twist. Exhale, slowly circle down. Inhale, circle up. Exhale, slowly down. Inhale, circle up. Exhale, slowly down. Good. So from here, you can again walk up onto your front knee or float up if you have the core, and meeting and leaning crescent. From here, inhale, arms reach, maybe back knee bends as you stack your shoulders over your hips for crescent pose. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, leaning forward. Inhale, back to crescent, shoulders over the hips, reaching the arms. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, lean it forward. Good, again, lower your hands onto your bricks and step your back foot forward. Take a half bend, inhaling, and then exhale, lower down. Good, root down into the feet, rise up, reaching high, and exhale, slowly glide the arms down. Excellent. So as you can see, these can be quite strong on the legs and the glutes, especially the glute of the front leg. So really good for toning the lower body. So here we're going to work with the same flow and then bring in the flow from last week. So The quick reminder from last week was I'll offer modifications and rocks, but side angle pose, your hand on a brick or here, and then reverse your warrior, and then triangle pose, reverse your warrior. You remember, yeah, I was seeing some people warrior and then back down. Yeah. So does that look familiar? Yeah, great. So let's bring that into the flow. And yeah, so again, just before we start, trying to keep the breath and throughout the practice as much as you can, and always trying to create a sense of ease, so not over pushing, and yeah, we'll take it from there. So taking your feet hip width in between your bricks and your hands again on your waist. So actually you can let go of the hands. Inhale with me, sweep the arms up. And exhale, slowly lower down, keeping the spine long. Inhale, half bend. Exhale, bend the front knee, step the left foot back to a pyramid. Inhale, half bend again. And again, before you lower, just finding the triangle of the feet, rooting down evenly, pulling kneecaps into quads, drawing the outer right hip back. Good. Exhale, lower down now over that leg. Inhale and exhale. Excellent. Inhale, lengthening. And from here, bend the front knee, back heel kicks and step back to a low lunge. Inhale, get light on your bricks, and if you can, float the arms back to leaning crescent. Inhale, glide the arms forward. Exhale, slowly sweep them back. Inhale, up to regular crescent, shoulders over your hips. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, slowly reach. Exhale, lean it forward. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, slowly lower. Good, taking the hands onto the bricks. And we'll do our low lunge twist. So from here, inhale, right arm sweeps up. Exhale, circle down. Just one more now. Inhale, circling up. And exhale, back down to your brick. So from here, slice your back heel down. So we're going into the open hip now. The feet are perpendicular and parallel. Just look up if you can't remember. I can see everyone. Yeah. So your heels are in line. And then from here, inhale, reach the left arm up for side angle pose. Good. Now you can, if you wish, just, if it's hard, because it's quite deep on the hips, put your brick on the higher setting, or pop your elbow onto the knee. Good, so from here, inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, triangle pose. Good. Inhale, great flow, ladies. Reverse your warrior. And exhale, warrior two. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then slowly windmill the arms back down onto your bricks. Pivot the back heel into the air. Step the back foot in. Inhale. And exhale. Lower down. Inhale, half bend. Exhale, step your right foot back. Good. So again, use pulling into the core, or step to the knee. Inhale, arms float forward. Exhale, shooting them back. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, arms reaching. Exhale, lean and crescent, lean it forward. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, lean it forward. Inhale, arms reach, up to crescent, good. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, arms reaching. Exhale, lower down, good. Draw the outer left hip back, squaring the hips forward. Inhale, shoot the left arm forward and up. Exhale, circle it down. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, circle it down. So take the hand onto the brick, slice the back heel down. Good. For warrior two, good. The feet again are perpendicular parallel. Excellent. So again, option to take your brick up high and coming up into your side angle pose. Brick is still too low, just do elbow to knee. Breathing here. So you're trying again to not stick the bum out and tip the shoulders forward. So you'll notice as you do engage the outer left hip, it'll bring that left hip forward and then your shoulders will come back to get your line. Inhale up now to reverse warrior. And exhale, elbow to knee. Right hand lifts. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, triangle pose. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Holding here. Good, strong pose. Warrior two. Couple more breaths. Nice. So keeping the hands up and over the shoulders, especially that back hand lifting up. Nice. Good. And then slowly windmill down onto your bricks. Step the back foot in. And then exhale, bow down. So we're going to hang here for a little while. You can keep your hands on your bricks or take your bricks away if you can reach the ground. If you can't keep the knees straight, but feel free to bend them a little bit if you need. Keeping the muscle energy through your quads as you press your weight into the triangle of the feet. Allow the spine to dangle, allow your breath to normalize and balance. Good. Good. Okay, so from here, inhale, half bend. Exhale, step back to a downward dog. Nice. And then come forward. Bring your right knee to your right wrist, left knee to your left wrist. When you place those knees, you're trying to keep the core and the weight firm in your hands. Cross your shins. I know a couple of you side saddle around and you know how to do that. But if not, learn leading over back onto your bum. Great. So from here, extend the legs straight. For Dandasana staff pose. So lift the spine, hands are on the ground just forward of the hips. The toes kick skyward, knees into quadriceps, hugging inner thighs. Drop the shoulder blades down the back as your shoulders drop away from the ears. And breathing here, gazing to the toes. So I notice a couple of you are rounding back. So just you can take the flesh of the sit bones out and back. This creates a little bit more lift through the upper back and helps the thighs roll in to the midline. Good. So from here, right heel kicks into your left inner thigh for Janu, Sirsasana. Good. If there's any pain in the right knee, just take a break. So from here, turn your torso over the left leg, lengthen up, and on your exhale, start to spider your hands forward. So keep those left toes kicking into the air and the activation through your quads, and that will help your hamstrings open as you spider your hands forward. And again, keeping the gaze to the toes, not to the front knee, and the lift through the chest. Breathing here. Lovely. Inhale, lengthen. Walk your hands back and bring your right knee up. Good. Stacking the knee over the heel, and you want to create just a little space between your right foot and your left inner thigh. Interlock both hands on the knee. Lengthen through the spine on your next in-breath and start to slowly turn towards that knee. You can hook your left hand to the outside of the right knee and turn towards that right knee. Place your right hand behind and then maybe hook the elbow around the knee or place it over. And start to twist over the right hip, spiraling the rotation from the waist up. Good. Opening out the right shoulder, looking over the shoulder if the neck allows. Keeping the weight on the center of the left heel, left toe skyward. Good. And then slowly come forward. Good. So from here, before we do the other side, we'll do a boat pose. So taking your legs to a V or an upside down V, like so. Good. Hooking the back of the knees, lie back. Keep the lift through the back. So what we don't want is this. This is half boat. It's completely different. Here we're trying to strengthen the psoas, not the rectus abdominis. So it's lift through the lower back. Good. And you still want to keep the base of your ribs in, so you don't want to be back bending. So you're keeping some abdominal core, but the lift through the lower back is most important. If you can, bring the legs up to a tabletop. So if you start rounding back, just bring the feet back down. Good. Everyone has their good lift so far. So again, keep being mindful of the lower back. Can you reach the arms forward? Holding here. Breathing. 5, 4, hugging inner thighs. 3, lift the chest up. 2, it's okay to quiver, shake. 1, and then slowly come down. Nice. Okay. So from here back to, well, first Dandasana staff, and then take your left heel into the right inner groin. Again, use a brick under the knee if there's knee or groin pain. And then slowly turn out over the front leg, right toes kick skyward. Good. Reach both arms forward, lengthen up, inhale. And exhale, slowly spider the fingers forward. Good, nose to toes, the gaze is nose to toes. Good, keeping the length of the breastbone away from the navel, so length through the front body. Keeping the activation through your right quadriceps to help your hamstrings open. Allow your shoulders to soften away from your ears here and your jaws to relax. Good. Lengthen up. Start to spider your hands back, shoulders over hips. and step your left foot to the ground. A little bit of space between the left foot and your right inner thigh. Interlock your hands on the knee. So lift the spine on your next in-breath and start to rotate your right ribs towards the inside of the left knee, gently pulling the knee into the midline. Option to hold or hook the elbow around, right elbow to left knee, left hand sprinkles behind the bum. Twist from the waist up, keeping the weight even through the sit bones, maybe taking the elbow on the outside of the knee. If you have the range. Good, and then start to twist from the waist up. Peeling that left collarbone open. Keeping the muscle activation through your base, so that's your right leg. And then slowly come forward, nice, and back to Dandasana. Well done. So from here, cross your shins, kick your heels into your bum. If you know you don't do this vinyasa, you can side saddle. We're doing with us, point the toes out to the long side, maybe use your core, maybe use your hands. Come forward onto your knees, unhook your shins and step back to plank, and then a downward dog. And take a couple of breaths here. Good, and again, bringing your knees up to your shins. Cross your shin bones and roll back to the seat. Nice. So from here, take the legs wide to a V. Kick the toes up, knees into quads. So if you're rounding back, you can sprinkle your hands behind your hips and then press into your fingers to lift the lower back. Good. You may want to take a green brick or green block and just kind of shimmy off it, so sit off the brick as well. Good, and you're lifting your knees into quads, muscle energy through the legs, toes point skyward. And then you can hold here, or if you wish, start to walk your hands forward and gently spider them forward, with no rush for the chest to come to the ground. More important to keep the length through the spine and the activation through the front of the legs, pressing the back seam of the leg down to the ground. Good, slowly walk up onto your hands. And then from here, you can bring your feet together again for another boat pose. So finding your upside down V, hands under your knees. Find a lift through the lower back as you pull the front base ribs down. Good. If you can, bring the feet up. I think everyone is bringing the feet up. Good. And then some of you, if you feel ready, take your hands off. Good. If you round back, just take the hands back onto your knees for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the feet to the ground. Open out the knees for a cobbler's pose. So the feet heels can be in line with the knees, or some you can also keep the feet a little bit forward. Yeah. And you're growing the inner seam of the inner thighs long, keeping the length through the spine. And just allowing your shoulders to drop forward a little bit if that's available. So as you tip forward, that's going to increase the sensation through your inner groin. So you can just sit tall if you prefer. to do a few roll to boats. Now, we haven't done this before, so I'm going to demo it. So, yeah, let me just show you first. So from your tabletop, you're going to roll back into what we call hovering plow or plow. So you'll roll back, your hands can be by your hips, and you'll roll back, or you can do it from lying down. You can start off and then you'll kick the legs up, press the hands down, and you'll roll your hips over your shoulders or thereabouts. And you could tap the ground, but you don't have to. You could be, feet here, they could be up here. You might even push your hands to your back, you might bend the knees. So there's a few variations here. And then you're going to roll down into the boat holding the legs. Yeah, so rolling back and rolling up. Rolling back. Rolling up. So the idea is when you roll up is that you don't want to do that. If you do, you can just come back up into the boat. But you're trying to keep your feet off the ground. So before you go in, let me just say, when you roll back, just be mindful of the neck. Yeah. So you will be putting your whole body weight on the neck and the shoulders. So just, you don't have to even roll up to boat for the first couple of times. Just try rolling back into the hovering plow, and then maybe on the first one, maybe using the hips. Don't feel like you have to go all the way back, which will put more weight on the neck. Yeah, so being mindful of the neck. Great. Okay, so from here, when you're ready, as I say, let's start lying down. There's a bit more control. So rather than doing it from sitting, we'll do it from lying. Good. And inhale, lift the hips, roll back, as I say, hands on waist if you wish. Good. And then exhale, roll it forward. Hands onto the knees as you roll up. Good. Or you can leave that out if you want again, and just, roll up to sitting for the first couple of ones. Yeah, until you get comfortable with that hovering plow and the neck and anything else that may be going on. So keep going. So anything else that you may be experiencing, good, as you roll from your hovering plow up. And then eventually you'll start to balance, and then maybe balance no hands, but that doesn't have to be this week, yeah? Getting the balances, I know it's a lot of fun, yeah. Excellent. Very good. And then exhale, roll back, last one. And then inhale, rolling up, and we're going to hold this boat for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then feet to the ground. Inhale, lift the spine, and holding here for cobblers, or leaning forward a little bit, keeping the length through the spine, pressing the lateral seam of the feet, the foot down into the ground to create muscle energy through the legs if you want to activate it. If it's enough just to relax, the relaxation version you can. And then slowly come up, and you can lie down onto your back. Good. Take your feet under your knees, hands wide in line with your shoulders. And then next inhale, drop your knees wide out, exhale, drop the knees wide out to the right. And then inhale up, and exhale down to the left. Inhale up, exhale to the right. Inhale up, and then exhale down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. So inhale. So we're going to take this into, I'm going to offer an option for twisting belly, but if there's any sacral pain, you might just want to keep this expression and just drop the knees out to the right. Otherwise, take the legs up to a tabletop, and you can take your 2 bricks over to the right side of your mat. And then exhale, drop the right knee and the ankle over onto your bricks. Ideally, if you can reach high, keeping the left shoulder onto the ground. So the knees are in line with the hips, the feet are in line with the knees. Good. Breathing here. And then slowly come up. Excellent. Take your bricks now over to the left side. In line with your hip and the other one a little bit down. Or you can do your windshield wipers with feet on the ground. But if you're doing twist and belly with me, inhale, exhale, drop over to the left. Good. And your bricks can be on whatever setting you wish. And you're keeping your right shoulder on the ground. Good. And letting the outer right hip open. A little twist through the torso and the lower back. Good. And then slowly come up. And then from here, you can grab the back of the legs and roll up to a seat. Nice. So take your bricks away, maybe to the front of your mat. And from here, cross your shins. We're going to vinyasa back to downward dog. So hug the feet in, toes point wide, pull into the core, roll forward, unhook the legs, and step back to a downward dog. Good. So from here, inhale up to forward to plank pose. Good. So we're going to hold this plank for 10, and stacking your shoulders over your hips, keeping the height in your hips. Tailbone lengthens towards the back heel, helping you pull into your abdominal core. A little bit of doming through the upper back is okay as you push the ground away, because it can help you find strength through your core. Good. 4, 3, 2, last breath, and 1. Excellent. So drop down onto your knees. You're now in a long tabletop. And from here, hugging the elbows narrow, lower chest and hips to the ground. Feet are hip width, point the toes back. Sprinkle your hands. Good. Cobra. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, extend and lift. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale and lift. Exhale and lower. Okay, so from here we're going to take a pose called open wing. I haven't taught it before. So you can lie here, take a Sphinx pose with me. And so I'm just going to demo it. So it's nice to have a brick for this. So just keep the brick here. So I'm going to demo the right side first. So take the right hand in line with the shoulder. Or if you know your shoulders and chest are tight, you can take your hand a little bit lower. Yeah, so anywhere between 90 and 45 degrees, depending on your flexibility. Your left hand is just wide of your left chest. TP'd up, and you're going to press off your fingers, roll to the outer right hip. And then from here, your left foot can stack, or you can bend on top of your right foot, or bend the left knee and step that left foot behind your right calf. Then grab hold of your brick, put it under your right temple. And you can hold here. The left hand can stay on the ground. Or if you want to advance or progress your pose, take the left hand back if it can touch your right. If it can't, you could lower your hand a little bit, like you don't want to lower your hand all the way into the bum. You'd be better off, you know, just taking that left hand down and just doing one side. So keeping that right hand somewhere between 90 and 45, not closer to the bum. It's a deep pose, it's called open wing. And it really opens out the chest and the heart. Good, excellent, both functionally and somatically. So if you've been sitting on desks or cars, get the pectoral muscles in the chest really tighten. And sometimes even emotionally as well, we close out the heart and we stoop the posture to with fear or other negative emotions. As you breathe into the chest, just allowing any tension to dissolve. And then slowly roll back to your belly. Nice. Okay, so from here, take your left hand wide again. So maybe the same ankle may be different because not everyone's has even shoulders from right to left. TP up to your right hand. Roll to the outer left hip, step the right foot behind your left knee. Take your brick onto your left temple. Maybe reach that right arm back, but don't feel like you have to. Lift the chest forward. Draw the shoulder blades together and down the back to help the pectorals to release. Maybe look up. Keeping the throat open as you lift the chin away from the chest, if the neck allows. And then slowly roll back onto the belly. Good, and meeting in Sphinx pose. And in your Sphinx, just allowing your shoulders drop down, your chest should feel lovely and open. And then from your hands to the chest, inhale up to a tabletop, and exhale back to child's pose. You can take a couple of breaths there. Good, so from your child's pose, inhale up to a tabletop. Last pose today is Anjali Asana. And you may use one brick. You may want to use one brick at the front of your mat. So meeting in a downward dog or a tabletop, yogi's choice. And stepping, you can TP up to your right fingertips and step, if you're in tabletop, and step your right foot forward. So your right foot is wide of your right hand, and the right foot is a bit laterally rotated, so pointing out to the side. Good. So from here, I'd like you to sink your hips forward and back a few times. And you'll notice as you sink forward that your hip flexors on the back leg begin to release. So that's the target area of this pose. And the groins of the front foot can also release. So to help the front foot not get in the way of the back hip, you can tip up onto your right pinky and then shift the hips forward. So staying forward now, maybe rocking from right to left. And if you wish, you could put your left hand under a brick here to get more height, keeping the hips nice and low. As you take your right hand to your right knee. Good, so the hips are still forward. You're pressing the right knee lightly out to the right, lifting the spine, looking out over the right shoulder. Good. Then slowly draw that front knee in, right hand down, and kick your right leg back. Good, if you're in tabletop, TP up onto left fingers. If not, if you're in dog, just step that left foot forward. Again, you're laterally rotating the left toes out. And just start hips forward and back and starting to sense into your hip flexors on the back leg. So it's this area here. You can move as I talk, maybe glance up. It's this area here, your hip flexors. It gets really tight when you're sitting a lot, yeah? So as the hips shift forward, you just start to notice that area opening and releasing. And the muscle here, the psoas, is also connected all the way up through your lower back, actually attaching through your lower back, the spine of your lower back, to the base rib. So often tightness in the front of the hip is related to back pain. Good. Now on your next exhale, keep the hips forward and just shift from right to left. And then again, option to take your hands on a hand on your right hand on a brick, left hand to the knee, sink the hips forward and lift the spine. Pressing the left knee a little bit to the left. If you wish, fall out. You can pick that left big toe man up and lift into the chest. Breathing here. Good. Now hug the left knee into the midline and step the left leg back to a tabletop. Good. So from here, walk your knees forward to your hands, cross your shin bones, roll over onto your bum. Excellent. So lying down on your back. We've got one more pose before Shavasana, and that is happy baby. So we'll do right leg first. So keeping your left foot on the ground, bend your right foot up. So you're looking for this line between your right heel and your right knee. And if you can, grab hold of that right foot. So it's the outer edge of the right foot. Pressing down, pressing the knee down. Good, so you're trying to make sure you keep that angle. If the groins are tight, you'll be inclined to drop the heel down. But you want to keep, if you can, keep it, the heel up. Now if you can't reach the foot, you just grab hold of the back of the knee. Yeah, that's absolutely fine, but you're still trying to make that angle. And if it's easy for you, you can extend that left leg straight. But please only take the progression if you're just kind of not really feeling a stretch. You don't have to try the advanced. Good. Then from here, take the left foot to the ground and direct your right foot to the center of your left thigh. And then bring the left knee up, lift the head and thread the needle. So we've done this one before. So hooking the arms around the back of the leg and then bringing the head back down. Good. And then slowly release and step your right foot to the ground. So with the right foot on the ground, bring the left leg up, hold the back of the leg, or if you can, grab hold of the lateral edge of the left foot to coax that left knee towards the ground. Again, option to hold the back of the knee, but we're trying to make that angle between that left heel and the knee. And then if it's easy, extend the right leg straight, but only if it's easy. Good, and then slowly bring your left leg down. Okay, so for Shavasana we have a few minutes here. If you want, you can take a blanket or put your jumper on. And if you're comfortable, you can just stay lying. Before you get too cozy, just make any last minute adjustments so that there's a feeling of being centered through the spine. Yeah, the spine is in the center. And there's a line between your sacrum all the way up to the tip of the crown. So if you want to make any adjustments, you can do so. You also want your shoulder blades to roll down the back of the neck long. Good. And close your eyes, draw your attention into your body. And start to sense and feel inward as you allow your body to sink down onto the ground. Dropping your attention down all the way to the fingers and the toes. Allowing your breath to slow down, become smooth and slow. As you offer your weight to the earth beneath. All this time staying connected with your felt sense. And letting go of anything you need to let go of that doesn't serve you. When you're ready, starting to move out of your Shavasana, moving fingers and toes. Stretching any way you wish. And then pulling your knees into your chest. Rolling over to the right side. And making your way to the seat. Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed moving today with me. Namaste. Okay, yoga trainees, the drama now finished. So just to say as well, the pinnacles were less today because the focus of the class was putting it all together, yeah. So it wasn't necessarily about advancing poses. I did put in a couple of demo poses, but it wasn't like the focus wasn't in on putting a pinnacle in every section, because it was, yeah, as I say, focus of the class was, you know, you've learned these poses and now we're going to put them in, yeah, so I didn't want to put too many new poses in. And just to say, in terms of my vision like me observing the class, which I know is a major in the group, or for you guys at the moment who are on my 2024 training, and if I use this video again, it will be the same, because that's always such a hard thing to do for trainees. But I found, like, again, I was imagining two audiences here, like students and trainees, so I was playing to two. Now on this class, I would have been playing up more to the front of the mat, pretty much to the whole thing, like to 80% of it, to keep my vision in the room, and I would have been doing width. But I'm coming out and I'm watching a lot more, so kind of going from doing width to just standing or sitting and just looking around the room and talking. So that would be in a real life situation, but I don't have real students here today. And I'm also aware that I was teaching in the standing of vinyasa, which I hadn't shown you before, so I did take it to the long side of the mat. So for trainees, but if it had just been people in the room, I would have stayed looking forward and kept the connection with the student more. So yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you learned from the experience. Thank you.